So today we're going to talk about 5 haunted places in the U.S. that you got to visit. So stick around and find out what made my list. The U.S. is huge, right? 3,000 miles east to west to 1,500 miles north to south. Not including Alaska, Hawaii, or the territories. The U.S. is massive with lots of terrain and cultures and vegetation in 50 states. And so the possibilities for hauntings are endless. So when I think about dark tourism or haunted vacations, these 5 sites are ones that I think are must-dos and must-sees with the sounds and the spooks and all of the great stuff you want for a hauntingly fun vacation. So up first is Gettysburg, PA. Now, before I can even talk about the haunting part of it, Gettysburg is beautiful. The rolling hills, the trees, it's just super scenic and stunning. So much so that at first glance, the views are almost, it makes you feel like you're in an Andrew Wyeth painting. But due to the town's violent history during the Civil War, specifically the Gettysburg battles in July of 1863, the town is considered haunted. And the ghosts are not condensed to one area. They're everywhere. Everywhere you go, there's a possibility of spotting a spirit. One of the most haunted spots in Gettysburg, though, is the Devil's Den. It's an area full of boulders at different elevations, but the location, it was the spot of a mass murder of soldiers. And so this area is known to be a hot spot for ghosts and ghost hunters. In fact, Gettysburg offers endless ghost hunting opportunities. So due to it being a spiritual epicenter, it's a call to many psychics and witchy individuals. And so not only are there many American shops and, historical stuff, but there's a lot of occult shops with psychics and aura readers. And so Gettysburg has many different haunted excursion options, so you will not be bored. Next up is New Orleans, Louisiana. Not surprised, right? But it is the home of swamps, alligators, and the French Quarter. It's also the home of voodoo in the U.S. The haunting energy in New Orleans is undeniably palpable. It is the spookiest and witchiest place. And so besides the energy, the excursions are obviously endless there as well. The French Quarter is full of bars and stuff like that, but you can also find a broad assortment of voodoo and psychic shops. And you can stop by these spots and meet with local practitioners that are experts in the craft of voodoo or witchcraft. And for those that are a little spooked by the idea of practicing voodoo, there are other spooky haunts you can enjoy too in New Orleans. There is the Museum of Death in the French Quarter, and it contains a lot of artifacts from famous murders and crimes. So it's a true landmark for those fascinated by crime like me. And then right down the street from the Museum of Death, you will find St. Louis Cemetery 1, where Marie Laveau, a famous voodoo practitioner, is buried. It's hard to say. It's said that a visit to her grave will bring you good luck. So, with boundless opportunities to explore, New Orleans is an ideal adventure for ghost hunters and anyone intrigued by spooky things. Coming in third is Salem, Massachusetts. Need I say more? Salem is the home of the tragic Salem witch trials, in which men and women both were accused of being witches. And so that historic event is forever immortalized in works such as The Crucible by Arthur Miller, The Witch of Blackbird Pond by Elizabeth George Spear, and the classic 90s film Hocus Pocus, which is my favorite Halloween movie. When visiting Salem, there are endless places to purchase souvenirs, to commemorate your trip. I highly suggest visiting the House of Seven Gables, the inspiration behind Nathaniel Hawthorne's novel by the same name. You can also see the grounds where those accused of being witches were hung. And for those interested in all things haunted, Salem needs to be on your list. Next up is Portland, Oregon. Portland is an unexpected choice, right? You probably weren't expecting me to say that, but it has an interesting history that those who are invested in the supernatural or true crime will find intriguing. It is home to the Shanghai tunnels, and this town's dark history makes it one of the most haunted destinations in the nation. The Shanghai tunnels run beneath the streets of Portland, and they were utilized in the 19th century to kidnap people and sell them into the sex trade, into slavery in Asia. So people would go to the bar, they would get intoxicated or high on opiates. And specific bars had a hatch. And so once they got intoxicated, they would be sent down the hatch and never be seen again. So tourists have reported hearing disturbed screams during their exploration of the tunnels. Last but not least, at number 5 is San Francisco, California. I can't not mention San Francisco, right? This city is located in Northern California, and it's not only the home of the Golden Gate Bridge and the Castro, but also to some of the most haunted places in the world, including Alcatraz Prison. Alcatraz was home to some of the most violent murders and criminals, with many having served life in prison. And rumor has it, they're all still there. So when you're touring Alcatraz, you will more than likely hear the haunting shouts of past prisoners and cell doors opening and closing on their own. And so the sights and sounds of Alcatraz are some you simply don't want to miss if you're looking for some dark tourism and some haunted adventures. You can even be on the lookout for the ghostly policemen frequently spotted in Golden Gate Park. Or you can visit the Queen Anne Hotel. Formerly, it was an all-girls boarding school that is still haunted by its headmistress. So, the U.S. is an epicenter for haunted tourism. Obviously, I hit 5 today that I thought were, really good locations, but there are tons. And so if you want me to help you craft a perfect haunted vacation, I would love to do that for you. You can reach out to me at www.pinkshadestravel.com. From there, you can book a consultation. You can find links to all of our socials. Would love to help you out with that. But I want you to tell me in the comments what super haunted destinations did I miss today. I know I did a list of 5, but I want you to tell me what you think I missed. What should I have added to the list that I didn't think of? So be sure you drop that in the comments and like and follow. And I hope you guys have a great day.